just the last week, Homeland Security has come out and said, we're not just about terror. We're going to hire your local police. We're going to certify who can get jobs anywhere. We're going to set up checkpoints in your town. We're going to have spies all over Twitter and Facebook. We're going to have citizen spies on the ground recording what you say politically. They are recreating classical, hardcore despotism. This is 200 proof evil. This is certified as bad as it gets. It's conscious takeover. Oh, and also they said that the machines could not physically hold images.
The machines are not set to store images. They're not set to transmit images.
And then we got the manuals sent to us by insiders that said that when they test the machines, they look to see if they can see the genitals, and that is the marker they look for to make sure that the machine is tuned right, and that indeed all the images are saved, not just at airports, but at courthouses, and have been leaked and shared, and they pin them up on the wall, and when they see a good-looking woman that's come out, they put them through them. So they lied about saving the images. There have been cases in England where they come up to famous film stars and ask them to sign scans of their own genitals. This is really happening. And, of course, it's a bunch of abusers that are willing to take these jobs. Remember that basic precept in law, that if someone's been caught lying before, don't believe anything they say, and they're criminals. What do they say about the devil? He's the father of lies. Whether you believe in the devil or not, this is a devilish attribute that we're seeing. This is tyranny. Why do we just accept when government lies about Rand Paul and says that he was irate and wasn't detained? Both lies. Why do we not get upset about that? Why do we trust people that act like this? The truth is, more and more Americans are awake. Congress has a 9% approval rating. The system knows we're waking up to them. So now they're taking the velvet glove off the iron fist and just going with the iron fist. It is time to reawaken the spirit of 1776. It is time to recognize it is criminal when the TSA violates the 10th and 9th Amendment and operates in our states. But it's even more criminal when they grope our children, our wives, and our husbands and harass our old people and make cancer patients get out of wheelchairs that can't walk and make passengers help get them out of their chair. This is assault, and it's criminal. It's sexual and physical assault. But it's also criminal when we put up with it. We become cowardly accomplices to these scum. The TSA takeover of America has unified the people. And so have a lot of other issues. And the system knows that their attempt to break our will is backfiring. Get this key report out to everyone you know. The future of our republic and the world depends on it, because this corporate tyranny is being exported everywhere. Absolutely. We'll be right back. This corporate tyranny is being exported. Yeah, that's an extremely powerful piece that Aaron Dyke stayed up all night to get ready. And I told him, I said, Aaron, we shot the video. We've done the research the last 2 days about their lies. I said, just take your time getting it done. And, of course, he was leaving this morning as I got here. So he'd been up working for more than 24 hours to put that together. And I'm giving it a name right now. I got to decide here during the next break. I couldn't, in 3-minute break, I couldn't come to a... I mean, what do we say that's accurate about the video and gets people to watch it? You know, secrets of the TSA exposed, what the TSA doesn't want you to know. You know, the TSA are world champion liars. I don't know what you call it. By the way, last time we were up in Maine interviewing Charlotte Iserby a year ago for her Skull and Bones expose, it's on Prisonplanet.tv. She gave me this, and I've always meant to show it to people. This is cool. If I had like a man cave at home, which I don't, I mean, I have my little office, but everything's overrun by my children. My office is in my bedroom. I have a little desk, but you know, the whole house is decorated by my wife, and it's great. It's nice. It's just it's a chick pad. I don't think that this would fit in very nicely. Maybe I'm just going to, like, in one area of the bedroom, just start like putting moose heads and Ron Paul license plates. If you're a radio listener, I have a Ron Paul Maine license plate. Man, Maine's got a nice license plate too. I like that. It's got a little birdie right there. Got a little, he's sitting there on top of pine cone. on an evergreen. It says vacation land. I tell you, I like pine cones and I like the woods. Makes me want to go hunting or fishing. Of course, to get up there, I'd probably have to have a bunch of pot-bellied perverts grab my genitals and put me in a microwave oven and then act like I'm the crazy person for not liking it. And they might rob my bags. You know, I did have TSA rob my bags. Flying back from New York, in 2005. One of my daughters was newborn. Been a couple months old, and I thought, you know, instead of a plastic rattle, I'll go to Tiffany's. They were like 50, 60, 70 bucks a piece. I'll get her a rattle and some teething rings and stuff, and they only stole one of the things I bought. They unwrapped the little boxes from Tiffany's, and they just, so I guess, stole what they wanted. And even put the note in there that they'd been in there. But I'm supposed to like being robbed by the government. I mean, they do it anyways. You know, I can't tell you how crazy it is that I've talked to people and seen confirmed cases where they harass small businesses and companies. Even when you pay them what you're supposed to pay the IRS, it's all nebulous so they can rob you. And they'll call people in. This happened to my dad when I was a teenager. Called him in, and he said, I've given you all the receipts, all the facts. You're wanting all these penalties and interest. I don't owe this. And they said, Mr. Jones, we're white-collar criminals. You'll pay us what we want, or we're going to charge you, and you're going to go to jail. It's only Mitt Romney and people that don't pay taxes, and Warren Buffett. And we need to stop being chumps in this country. And all you liberal Democrats need to get that fact. There's no free ride. The globalists get most of the money in corporate welfare. Big government's not our friend. Ron Paul's right. The founding fathers are right. Common sense is right. Speaking of Charlotte Iserby, we've got her book, The Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, is back in print after a year out of print, but it's a new, revised, and updated, abridged edition, only 500 pages, full of documents. Infowars.com. Get it out to every educator you know. And coming up, let's get him on right now. Bloodlines, the Illuminati, author. We got the book, aplenty, available at Infowars.com, and it's powerful. Stay with us. Okay, this is going to be the first of a lot of interviews with an incredible researcher and, of course, a political prisoner. He was 100% set up in just a cartoonish fashion many years after, quote, the crimes were committed of robbing banks. A guy who's a West Point grad, no criminal record. Previous to that, sent to prison. And I know why they did it, because when I first read Bloodlines, the Illuminati 10 years ago, when I first read some of his books, I was still in a learning process, and we all are continually. I was like, you know what, a lot of this can't be true. Now, I knew a lot of it was true because I'd separately already researched it, but some of it was just so outlandish. And then over the years, separately, in my own research from even mainline sources, I found other pieces that was true. I mean, now it's even in major British newspapers that the royals still have their hind ends wiped, that they eat body parts, that they're related to Vlad the Impaler. They're really Transylvanian royalty, not even German royalty. And his book, Bloodlines, the Illuminati, of many books he's written, is just so important. And he's been out of jail now for about a year and is able to speak now. And today, I didn't even tell him really what I wanted him on about. He's on, but I'm going to start getting him on every few weeks. I want to get into the mindset of the highest level Illuminati and how their power structure is set up and some of the main families. Probably should have actually brought this up to him before he came on with us. And then I'm going to do that for about 30 minutes. And then I want to open the phones up for Fritz Springmeier today, joining us via video Skype from his home in Portland, Oregon. But the book, Bloodlines, Illuminati, you know, we didn't have it on the shopping cart for about a month because we sold out of it. And because it was on print demand, we always had trouble getting enough of them. I just went ahead and bellied up to the bar and helped Fritz print a couple thousand of these. They're available right now at Infowars.com. We are the warehouser. We're not his distributor. We're just the warehouser of the books, and we have them, whether you want them for wholesale or whether you want to buy them individually. And he is mailing us some signed stickers we're going to put in some of the books. Those will be available next week. But Bloodlines of the Illuminati, available at Infowars.com right now. Fritz, we're about to go to break, and we're going to come back and recap all this. But good to have you with us. How are you enjoying 2012?
Oh, doing great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing fine.
What do you think about that that request on breaking down, really crystallizing the mindset, the worldview, the ultimate goal, and who some of these top families are in the bloodlines?
Sure, we can do that when we come back from break.
Yeah, I apologize.
You're wanting to take a break right now?
Yeah, we're about to go to break. And of course, I know you've always got this info pretty much at your fingertips. It's just that I probably should have relayed that to you earlier. And then you can recommend next time you come on what subject you want to get into, because I know you've written books on so many subjects. How many books have you written?
Well, 19 in all.
And how many of them are in print right now?
Very few. Thanks to your assistance, we're able to make the Bloodlines available, and then there's about a half a dozen others that are available to people.
You know, there's something in this book particularly that really made them angry at you.
Well, take your pick. There's plenty for them to get upset about, and we'll discuss some of that. Yeah, I'll be glad to talk about their mindset. People naturally assume that someone who's controlling the world thinks like they do, but these people do not think like you or I. They have a totally different mindset, and they view us like you would an ant. You know, if you stepped on an ant as you were walking on the sidewalk, you wouldn't even be concerned about it.
And of course, they say that about us, how much they hate us, how we're scum, how we're filth. They publish little hate letters to humanity, and the general public responds by fawning after them. We'll be right back with our guest, Fritz Springmeier. Stay with us, Fritz. Okay, for the rest of the hour, Fritz Springmeier, researcher, author, political prisoner, is going to be with us. Then Dr. Stan Monteith and Bob Chapman together. Dr. Stan Monteith says he has some breaking news concerning Iran. It must be important because I invite him on the show all the time, but he rarely reaches out to us to come on. Now, we just got Fritz Springmeier on. I've talked about the fact that, and I've gone over his case last time he was on. No criminal record up to that point. Years after some banks get robbed, he gets set up by known informants and sent to jail for bank robbery. And, of course, he's pointed out it's a complete fraud. And this is a guy who was speaking to packed halls that I saw on videos of thousands of people, 19 books in print. And right before they set him up, I remember the year before, he said, yeah, the cops broke in my house looking for marijuana grow labs. Of course, nothing was found. Yeah, you know, the local news was reporting that during the raid, they found extremist material. Gotta love that, where they break in your house, then talk about what's on your bookshelf as if you agree with everything on your bookshelf that you're reading. I mean, I've read Mein Kampf. It doesn't mean I agree with Hitler. I wanted to read what he said. I've read a book by Julius Caesar, too. I'm not a patrician class, supporter of the Roman city-state. I mean, it's so ridiculous. I've read Nietzsche. Doesn't mean I support all the ideas of Nietzsche. I do think that which does not kill you only makes you stronger and stranger, to kind of paraphrase Nietzsche and the Joker. But then he was correcting me during the break, just a side issue. We actually have some of those photos. That he went to West Point, but then got out of it, not a graduate of West Point, because of what he saw as some of the mind control there. He also, if I remember correctly, even lived with the Amish for a while to study that, and just had some amazing travels and things he saw. I think it's best to start out. A lot of people know who you are. We're on XM. We've gotten dozens of new affiliates, more than a dozen just in the last few weeks. I need to mention some of those today. So it's probably important for you to introduce yourself to